Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm building a dresser for my daughter who is going to be born in May. I decided to cut 2 pieces of plywood for the top to get me a thickness of 1.5 inches. Now one of the lessons that I learned is that I should have used more clamps because there's some gaps that I will show if you don't use enough clamps. Now you'll see me solve this problem later. Part of the design, I wanted to leave all raw plywood, but I decided to change this later on. But right here I'm using maple plywood. Now I went with pocket holes just because it's quick and easy. I went and I did all the sides and all the bottom. Here you see me cut pieces for the face frame. The original design was one that I built a couple years ago for my son, and you can see it right here on my channel. And so my wife really liked the design and she wanted me to build it just like it. Then I went ahead and I built the carcass with the plywood, trying to be as careful as I can, keeping things square, and using a clamp where I needed to try to avoid any gaps. Now after I had the carcass complete, I brought the face frame and I attached it with, once again, pocket holes. The trick here was to use clamps when necessary to keep things aligned in the best way possible. I just built the sides to accommodate side drawer slides, and that's why you see me put these filler pieces here. And then I went ahead and put another long piece in the back so that I can basically create a shelf to put that middle divider so that I can attach the drawer slides, the middle top drawers right there. You see me do that right here. Part of this, all this is inset 1/4 inch, so I can put a backer after this. Word of caution, I know this is probably not the safest way to cut a 1/4 inch plywood piece, but it's so light that I just decided to do this instead of having to get my track saw out. Now one of the things that I realized going to my lumber yard is that they already sell pre-finished drawer sides. So these ones are 6 inch deep, which already have finish on both sides and also a groove for the plywood. So I just went ahead and I purchased a few of those, and all I needed to do was to create a rabbet. And I got a new GoPro, so I wanted to try it right here with this shot and a couple other ones. But I just use glue and staples. I use 1 inch staples, and you can see right here the rabbet to help me keep things square. The bottom 2 drawers are really wide, and so I don't recommend building them that wide, but my wife wanted them again wide, and so that's why I build them this way. When you do this, you have risk of things binding. Now that's one of the reasons you don't see me install the drawers, because if there's one thing in my woodworking skills that I'm still need to learn is drawers. I always have so much trouble with them. So when I learn, I'll teach you guys. But right here, I'm starting to cut the top to width and to length. And then I realized I had some maple 2.5 face frames, and I decided to dress the top to make it look like a solid piece. That's why I'm mitering. I miter the corners for the face frame, and this helped me also hide the gaps. Once again, I didn't use enough clamps for the top, and so it had gaps. So I use a flush trim bit to, flush trim everything. Some more of that 2.5 maple face frame to build some fake panels to give it a nicer look. So I love working with maple. I think so far it's one of my favorite woods to use. It's heavy, it's hard, and I like it. Now here I decided to, or I thought I was going to do a continuous grain for drawer fronts. And so I basically measured the whole width and height of the front of the dresser, and I decided to hopefully keep things continuous. Now later on you'll see that I changed plans and I decided to paint the drawer front. So this doesn't really matter here, but it's a cool trick to keep things organized and just cut things consistently in the table saw. I went ahead and I marked the centers for all the pieces to get the hardware installed. So I used some leftover hardware that I have, and you know, my motto when I'm building furniture for myself is try to use as much as you can from what you already have. Obviously that saves some cost and also keep things easy. Now I'm using the same technique I used from last video to drill through the holes for the hardware. So I get to align everything, drill from the outside, then open the drawers, drill from the inside, take the screw out, and then install the hardware. Now the drawers here, like I said, the bottom are very long and they came out fine. The bottom one is the one that binds a little bit, but it works. Now here I'm starting to build a base. I use plywood to build 4 feet and a couple stretchers to build a very simple base with pocket holes. Now one of the tricks that I learned is to, when you use pocket holes, to use a drill instead of a driver, because a drill you can put the clutch and you don't split your plywood. Then I went ahead and I used paint. This is a coral paint, I think Coral Reef, I got it from Lowe's. And then I put maybe 3 coats of paint, sanded in between. And then after that, I went to the router and I put a very slight round over. Now this gave me very soft edges, but also a very nice clean edge. You can see right here how cool the paint looks once you use the router. Then I went ahead and finished everything with polyacrylic. I think I did maybe 5 coats after all. Now I don't sand until the last 2, so I apply 3 coats, I sand after the 3rd one, clean everything, apply 1 more, sand again, and apply 1 more. Right here you can see the finished piece. This is the drawers. It came out very nice. Thank you guys for watching this video. Like, subscribe, you know what to do. I appreciate you guys giving me the support, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye.